Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and we are out here in this piece. We are out here in these streets. We're out here doing life, and I am happy about it. And I'm happy that you have life. I'm happy that you share. I'm happy that you're on this journey with me, and I'm happy to be on the journey with you. And I tell you, it's a journey. Life is a journey. There is no way of getting past it because we continue to go down different roads and different paths. And the thing about it is that we make our own choices of which one we decide to go, which one we decide to go down. So there's many intersections as we go throughout our life, and we all ultimately make the decision which ones we choose to go. So, hey, what are we going to get in today? Hey, I don't know, life gets messy, and that's what it's all about, making and learning from mistakes, right? Because we're not going to get it right. We are not perfect human beings, and we just don't get everything right. And so life, if we're doing it right, life will humble you if you're doing it right. If you're doing it wrong, then of course you're always walking around on your high horse, or maybe you're just a narcissist. I don't know, because if you're doing right, you're gonna get humble sometimes, because we do not know everything. We have not been everywhere. We don't know how to do everything. Every day that you wake up, we should be learning something new if we are open to learning something new. Have you ever encountered someone who knows everything? So like when you're talking, it's like, oh, I know. Well, I know. You're like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we didn't have to have this conversation then. If you know everything, then why are we talking? If you know everything, then why did you give me a ring? Why are we meeting? Why are we here? So it's just kind of like, okay, so you know this, then why are you not sharing the information that you quote unquote know? They don't know until someone really tells them, and then it's, oh, they know. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, interesting when people constantly know everything. I have to tell my little person, that don't use that word. Don't use that phrase. I know, because you don't know. And even if you do know, there's something that you don't know, because someone could bring, quote unquote, the subject matter that you believe you know, and bring some new light, some new information, some new outlook to that particular subject or topic, right? So, hey, I remember when, I got pregnant, and I was freaking out. I don't know why I was freaking out, but I did. I really freaked out, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know what I'm going to do. And I was married, but I didn't know what I was going to do, right? I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was like a full-grown adult. So when I say full-grown adult, I mean that I was out there paying my way. I was not living at home. I was not having anyone else pay my bills. I had a job. I was out there doing the adulting thing. So when I say I was a full-grown adult, I was a full-grown adult. Although the law says that you become adult at 18, some of y'all still out there ain't fully adulting out here. Like, you're living off of someone else's substance, okay, and not your own. But anyway, that's just another topic for another day. But I was out there full-grown adulting, right? I was out here doing it, and I still was freaking out. So anyway, so I just started getting some books, and when you go to the doctor, they suggest, hey, read this or whatever. So I was getting magazines and things of that nature, and I was just reading, right? All these things. And then I had to start thinking about different things that I would hear individuals that already had children, what they were saying and doing and things of that. So I have, Sahaja, right? I'm being a mom and this and that, whatever. And I remember I was like, okay, I had to actually leave her, have someone watch her for a bit. I think I had duty or something of that nature. And so I'm like, okay, this is what she eats. Now she wasn't exactly one yet, but she was eating table food. And I was like, this is what she eats, and this is this and that, whatever, right? So I remember going back to pick her up, and guess what they had given my baby? They had given my baby grits. I was hot. H-O-T. Hot. Capital H-O-T. Grits. You can't give a baby grits, because I read, I was just going on and on and on about how you could not give the baby grits. And so the individual, right, I'll never forget, last name Jackson, right? And so she was like, Renee, calm down. It's just grits. It's baby, whatever. She loved it. She ate it. Yum, yum, yum. She's still living. You know what I'm saying? And I was just kind of like, what are you talking about? How can you be so calm? Like, you gave my baby grits and blah, blah, blah. And then, as the day went on, I was just like really hot about that. And I was like, I'm never letting anyone watch my baby again. They need to give my baby exactly what I said and follow it to the T and this and that, whatever. And then I thought about it. Okay, well, I'm probably overreacting because she has 2 kids. She has a teenager and she has a child that's in elementary school. They're still living. They're not harmed in any way. I think I'm overacting. Maybe it's okay that I gave her grits. And of course, I told Murdoch about it. And he was just like, oh, okay. So I'm like freaking out. And he's just like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, what are you talking about? You gave my baby grits. She should have asked. But so it was okay. And so in those moments, because there was many moments after that, considering me being a mother and other people watching your child, and they're taking in consideration what you're saying, and at the same time it's like, she's a first time mom, she's just doing some things that's actually harder and not smarter. And so I had to learn to really take in what other parents were saying, and using my mother's intuition about how I did things, what I was feeding my baby, how I was going about and managing my day and activities and things of that nature. And I will tell you, I did not get it right. I stumbled. I failed at some things. And then I actually got some things right. And so, but as she got older, I realized that I could not hide, right, me failing or making some mistakes, that I had to come clean about something. I couldn't keep it to myself. So like when they're little, right, you do some things like at night, you wake up and you feed them whatever, and I was kind of like breastfeeding, and I remember that she fell off my lap, and then I'm laughing now because it's funny. But I was like, oh my gosh, I dropped the baby, But I didn't tell Murdoch that I dropped the baby, right? So, nor did I tell her, right? So it was things like that. Like, you probably should not stay in that position. You probably should have had the little boppy there or whatever, and had her sitting in it. So just in case, because you are sleep deprived, that when your arms do kind of lay weak, that the baby is not going to roll out, things of the nature, or how the baby fell out the stroller, or how the baby got locked in the vehicle, or how I went off, and then I forgot that the baby was in the car. Let me tell you, thank the Lord that Sahaja is here today. That's all I can say, because it was plenty of mistakes. And my point in that is that I kept them hidden, right? I didn't really be like, oh my gosh, guess what I did? But as she got older and I would do certain things, and then she would call me out on them, I'm like, oh, be quiet, or something like that. But then I had to realize, like, okay, no, you made a mistake. You're gonna have to humble yourself, and you're gonna have to go back, and you're gonna have to apologize, and you're gonna have to do things differently and things of that nature. So when you're out here doing life, right, whether you're a parent, supervisor, things of that nature, right, you are going to find yourself in a position where you will have to humble yourself, and you will have to go back and get that thing right. I remember a time where I felt like I was always apologizing, like for everything, and crying about everything. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to, and sometimes it went well and sometimes it didn't, meaning that sometimes it was received and it wasn't received. But what I was learning in that is that, before the great fall, right, there's pride. And so there is this prideful nature, this in that lives within all of us, whether we want to admit it or not. Because when someone is trying to offer help and we have the attitude of I know, or someone makes a suggestion to reach out and get these services or talk to this person, and you do not take heed to that, that is pride. When you know that you messed up, or you did an individual wrong, or you may have lied about some things, as we like to say, oh, it's a white lie, whatever. And you don't want to go back and apologize or get it right. That's pride. That's pride. That's pride that's living there. And so when we want to go our own way, right, and do things the way that we want to do them, and although someone has given us some insight, some knowledge, some information, some wisdom, and we still decide to do it the way we want to do it, and don't take in consideration what's being said, then it's pride. Now, of course, it does matter who it's coming from. If it is a trusted resource, a valued resource, then of course, right? But if it's, if it looks a little suspect, then, right, I can understand that, because I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, where is it coming from? Who is it coming from? Right? Where this information that could be found. So when it came to, being a parent or whatever, because I'm a watcher and I watch people, and I see that there's good value in how you are parenting, and in the way I'm doing some things, and you're just like, like the old mother or grandmother was like, baby, you ain't got to do that. They drink it all the time. Just put a little cereal in their bottle, and they'll be right on, and they'll go to sleep. Or don't let the baby sleep in the bed with you, because or it's okay. Did you feed them? Did you change them? Are they dry? Okay? It's okay to let them cry. It's okay to let them cry, because if not, they're gonna be wanting you to come soothe them, right? They're not gonna be able to soothe themselves asleep. Things of that nature. Don't let them sleep in the room with you. So, it was those things that could help save your life, save you some sleep, save you some gray hairs, save you some thinning, right, on your hairs or whatnot. That if you do not take into consideration, you can find yourself on another path. Even when it comes to, drug abuse, right? Whether that be alcohol, whether that be pills, whether that be shooting up, snorting up, whatever the case may be, they can take you on another path, and it will humble you, right? You can find yourself out there in them streets, panhandling. You can find yourself sleeping, on the ground. You can find yourself prostituting yourself out, for whatever you trying to you trying to do, you trying to get, life will humble you. It will humble you. Real quick, like, if you're doing it right, it will humble you and it will save you as well. And what can save your life, right, is taking in wisdom, taking in the good words and knowledge of people that have been and gone before you, that have been and gone before us, that they have already paved the way. They have already made the mistakes, already went down the path or whatever. And they're like, yo, hold up a second. If you go that route, you're going to find some ditches there. But if you take it over here, the road is already smooth sailing and your tire not going to blow out. Right? Your tire's not going to blow out. And so we just have to stop making things harder for ourselves when we don't have to. We don't have to. There's plenty of people around you right now, today, that you have access to that has been where you are desiring to go, or they have been where you currently are right now, and possibly can lend you some insight on how to get out your situation, how to overcome your situation, how to continue to strive for whatever goals or aspirations that you may have. But we are too prideful to ask for help. And so we find ourselves drowning and suffering, right, in the decisions or even just the doubt, the mind games that plays with us, constantly every day, right? You can't do it, this is not whatever, right? That, some of us have to overcome. But if we could just humble ourselves and ask for help, humble ourselves and go talk to individuals, humble ourselves. Like if you see somebody out there have enough courage to DM them, right? Hey, I see you out here, whatever, just wondering, I'm trying to do blah, blah, blah. And, see if you get a response, right? If you don't, go again. If you don't get one there, go again. Or how about if someone is trying to put you on, right, to something right? I think that's a lot of times that most guardians or parents, I would say the majority of us, 98%, right? There's another 2% there. But the 98% is really trying to put you on, like put on young people to certain things. And they be like, nah. Right? Nah, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this or whatever. And so you find yourself in a situation that you did not have to be in, right? And even as adults, we, the ones that are out here adulting for real, not by your age, right, but by your responsibilities and actions, that are actually making things harder for ourselves when we don't have to be. We can, make our paths easier. Not saying that you're not going to have some trials and some tribulations, but I am saying that it could be easier, right? It does not have to be a hard way, but it could be easier if we would take in the words of the wise men that are around us, right? So, there were times where, again, I watch people and I would watch them and I would have questions in my head. I'm like, okay, why are they doing this? They're doing that. They do it like this, whatever. And then I would wait for times where, I would just have my running list of questions, right? So people would eventually, I don't know, it's like I would be the person in the class, the person in the group. When, they give a briefing or something, they be like, okay, all right, everybody's ready to go. Anybody have any questions? And people are like, yeah, we about to get up out of here. And I'd be like, yeah, I got a question. And so I would ask my question, and then whatever, the answer would be, I would have a question on top of that question, right? And so I was just always asking questions, trying to get a understanding of clarity of what it is that you really wanted us to do, or what it is that we're really going, or so I can see the bigger picture of what's about to happen, because I remember when I didn't ask questions and then I was assuming things or whatever, and so I would find myself in a ditch, or I would find, not literally in a ditch, but you know what I mean, but I would find myself making choices off of assumptions, right? And we know the beginning of assumptions, right? ASS, right? You know, what that would make us, right? And so when we tend to assume things, then we tend to consume things, right? And they're not always good things. And so we have to be mindful of that. We have to be mindful of being okay with asking questions until we get clarity. That's another part of having wisdom, because wisdom gets understanding. Wisdom gets understanding. Wisdom does not sit by and has opportunities to get information, but don't get the information that they need to continue on in their assignment, continue on in their journey, continue on in their life, continue on with their task. Wisdom gets understanding. You ever do a task that was given to you by someone, or maybe when you was younger, or just even now on your job, and then you bring it back, and all of a sudden that you do the task, and then of course the person that, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm done or whatever, and then they're like, oh well, you forgot about this, that, whatever, and you're like, oh well, I thought that you wanted it like this. Ask questions all the time. Repeat back what was said to get the understanding of what needs to be done. That is wisdom. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. Yeah, people may want to leave and say, hey, you know, if everybody want to go ahead and go. I still got some questions, right? And that is, you know, you using wisdom, right? Using wisdom of making sure that, you know, you're utilizing all options that you have around you, but not just a hoping, wishing, thinking, and praying that that's just going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we, you know, sometimes we put too much power into one channel, not understanding that it's a collective work that's happening in our lives, and it's not just one particular thing that needs to happen. So I think, you know, I mean, even that. So wisdom also will tell us, you know, go talk to someone, go get help, or whatever the case may be. You know, your friend is your friend. Your friends are your friends. Your friends are not your therapist. Your friends are not your counselor. Your friends, you know, are your friends. That's what they're you know, for laughs and whatever the case may be. But when you're really wanting to dig into your mental health, right, there's a specialist for that, right? When you want to look at your physical health, there is a specialist for that as well. When you want to dig into your spiritual health, there is a qualified, you know, individuals for that as well. There's people to help us on our journey in life. And wisdom would say, use the resources that you have. Do not push them aside. If you're going out and you're getting your tires tuned up, right? I mean, you're going out and you're getting your tires rotated, right? And you're going to go get your car, you know, when it's time to get a tune-up, right? Or you're going to go get your oil change, right? Every 3,000 miles, 5,000 miles, whatever type of vehicle that you may have. Then why are we not getting regular checkups? Wisdom would say, get your regular checkup. Not just your physical, but your mental and your spiritual health is all inclusive of this whole person that you are, this whole being that you are. All must be working together for the fulfillment and the enjoyment of life while we're here on earth, while we are out here in these streets, while we're out here living. That we need to have all of them healthy and working together. Because when you think about the vehicle concept, right? And you're driving and you just keep getting that light that just keep turning on because you didn't go get your oil changed, right? Or, you didn't, the tire, air pressure tire light comes on and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get to it. And then when you turn the vehicle on, the light comes on again and it's giving you a warning sign, right? Wisdom would say, go get that fixed. Go to the people that knows how to do this. Go to the specialist that knows how to do it. Like, I'm not going to take my vehicle, right, that needs air in the tire. I'm not going to go to the doctor's office. Okay? I'm not going to the doctor's office. Nor should I be going to my friends, right, to be my therapist. They're not qualified in trauma. They're not qualified, right, in mental health. They're not qualified for that. So why would I go there for that? Right? Why would I go to the grocery store and I'm looking for some type of spiritual insight? I mean, you possibly could get some type of thing out there, but no, for real though. Like, no, you would not go there. If I'm looking to achieve a college degree, am I going to show up every day at Sam's Club? No, I'm not, right? I'm going to attend a university that has the qualifications and the credentialing, right, to make sure that I get what I need, right, to pass tests or whatever the case may be to get my degree. So wisdom would tell me to go get the necessary help, to go to the right people to get what I need, and stop being in the state of I know, which is nothing but pride, and to get what I need to live a full life. If we're doing it right, life will humble you. We all need help. We need help every single day. There is not a day that goes by where you do not need the help of someone. Just think about it for a second. I'm going to let you rest in that, right, until next week. Because you're not doing anything out here in this life alone, and I know that you think that you might be. We think that we are, but we really are not. Because you're not doing anything that you don't need anybody's help. If you're driving a vehicle, right, there is someone's people, right, that created it, right? There's some things operating that we need from other people as we go throughout our life. So we're not doing this all by ourselves. So life will humble you. Just know that. Just know that we all deal with pride in some way, and we got to check ourselves. Listen to the loved ones that are around us, because they're not there to harm us, but there to help us. And so if they bring something to our attention, take heed to what they're saying and make the necessary adjustments. That's all I'm saying. Make the necessary adjustments that we need. All right. So my family is up now. They're in here talking. They're in here eating. You know what I'm saying? Although I'm over here because they just do what they do, although they, are attempting to be quiet. I don't know, they're not. They're over there having great breakfast without me. Yep, I said it. And so I'm going to have to go over there and I guess scramble me up something too as well. But I can't eat what they eat though. So I don't know. Muscle is just kind of like, what? You left me out. I didn't get a snack. I didn't get no bacon, whatever. So, but I love you all. There's nothing you can do about it. Hey, just knowing that we must lead our lives first before we lead others. And until next time, peace.